Page 36, Creepy Crawler. Using a sharp sign, this time with a C. So it gives me a chance to talk a little bit about fingering also. You see, typically with a beginner, as we've been doing, each finger is on a key next to each other. We call it a 5-finger position. It could be any key. It could be any, I could here or here or here. It doesn't matter where it's but it's 5 fingers. Each one is on a key. Well, that's fine, but you're going to start spreading out a little bit and scrunching up and moving around. So while you'll always see this 5-finger position, it'll always be around. It won't be around as much. We have to adjust based on what the music needs. Here, we're going to make our first adjustment because of the black key. Just look at the first 2 measures here. You have a C, and then you have a C sharp, which is that one. Remember, the sharp goes up to the next key. And then you have D. These 3. Then it goes back down. Well, if I start in a 5-finger position, that doesn't work real well because I'm not going to use thumb on both. Because I said, use the same finger for the black key as for the white, but when it's after each other, you usually use a different finger. So since the first finger's there, I'm going to use that. Here. Well, now that throws me off. Now I don't have second finger for that note anymore. So I'm going to use third finger here. So I just scrunch up a little bit. So here, here. And it's temporary. My position is still here. I'm just temporarily accommodating these notes. Here. So it's sort of like this position. Sort of. It's temporary. Really, it's this position. So we make these little adjustments in the fingering when we need to. You get the same thing in the left hand. In the left hand, it's here. This would be the position with third, but then when I want the G sharp, I'm not going to use third finger again. So I use the second finger. And then I bring the thumb down because I don't want to use second finger again here. So it's really here. The position is still here. This other is temporary because of the notes. Because as the music goes on, it'll be different notes, more than likely. So it'll be this thing. So don't get locked in and don't be reading finger numbers. You got to remember which finger is on which key. Now let's look at this crawler and see what's going on. I look it over, it's 2 lines long with a repeat sign. So we're going to play it, it's going to be 4 lines long. The clef signs are still treble and bass clef. 4/4 time signature. I see quarter notes and half notes. And we got these sharps to deal with. Right hand is here. And the left hand, when it comes in, is here. So we're here in this position. I will adjust for the black keys when we need them. So it's here, and this, I've already talked about this. Now remember that sharp sign is good for the rest of the measure. So both of those C's are C sharp. But once you cross the bar line, it's not good anymore. So if they want a C sharp, and they do, they have to put in another sharp sign. So it's here. Here. And then the left hand, same thing. It's here. The G sharp is still good. But in the next measure, it's a G natural because we crossed the bar line. And then measure 5. We're here. See, I'm back out to this position now. And now we're going to come up here. So I'm in this position at the end, so I come up a little bit. So I can play all the notes. Here? Yeah. But then when I'm done, I would come. This other position is just temporary. So we have to start thinking about this moving around, and eventually you want to get to where you don't need to look at the keyboard. You can feel what you're doing here real close. You know where the black key is, and when you do that, you know you've moved your hand down one, so now you know which finger third finger's on, or which note third finger's on. They'll move around a little bit. It takes some getting used to, but we'll get there. Now once I have the notes and the rhythms worked out, now I go back and get rid of the hesitations. And it would be good if you could practice this so you don't have to look at the keyboard, where you can feel where these notes are. And then I'll think about the articulation, and that's the phrasing. It looks like it's a phrase every couple measures or so, because I'm kind of following the words here. lift up, lift up. It's like you can follow these lines they have in here and treat them like phrases, which means you can lift up between them, like taking a breath, just a short, quiet, little bit of silence. Then the dynamics, P at the beginning is piano for soft. That's whatever you think soft is. And then the last two measures, you see the gradually louder to F. So we're going to go up to F. So in the last two measures here, you're soft. Each one gets a little louder. Each one gets a little louder here. I'm getting a little heavier with each note. Light, a little less light, little slightly heavy, a little heavier, and I'm just increasing the weight on each note is all. That's how I do louds and softs. And let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't stiffen up. Don't tense up. We want to stay relaxed. So a million things going on here, and that's why we have to practice this over and over and over, because each time you practice, you can think about one thing and get it until it's sort of automatic. Then you can think about something else and then get it. So it takes a while to get everything. Then the speed, well, crawling, whatever that is, I guess it's kind of on the slow side. Yeah. Remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Exaggerate them if you need to, but we need to feel these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I exaggerate them so you can hear them better, but really just feel them. Kind of fun. Don't copy me. You feel the music yourself. There is a premier performer thing there where you play it again, but this time make all the quarter notes staccato. So flex at the wrist here. Yeah, it's good exercise, good practice. Maybe since it's repeated, the first time you play it connected, and then when you repeat it, play them staccato. Because you really would rather not, if possible, play that twice exactly the same. Better to change something. In most cases, I should say. Let's play this together slowly and check our notes and rhythms. I'm not going to do the louds and softs, so just notes and rhythms, and we will repeat it. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. Repeat. 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. Off. There's a duet at the bottom. I'd like to play that. You play what you just played. I'm going to play it a little faster, and again, I need you to go up an octave. So just pretend the middle C on the piano, and instead of here, it's up here. So instead of here, you're up here. Play it all up here. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.